city that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from feeling all kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hanging and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Lawletta on first down. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The numbers from last week for Hilton. 4 catches, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has big playability, and we just saw it on display.
Now the rookie first rounder from Penn State, Saquon Barkley. And now running right through it. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Lawletta. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's got the first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball. And that way, you often control the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawletta throwing the out route incomplete. That's Shepard. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. It would have been a long kick. It was prime fake field goal territory. They faked it, they got it.
So much for defense in this situation because the natural play there is you go into what we call safe, meaning you don't really rush on that one. You almost concede if they want to kick a long one like that and make it, so be it. You just don't give up the fake. Yet they did anyway. Poor execution on the defensive side. I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game, you play on a Thursday night. Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because...
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Play action. Now Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Intentional grounding, offense.
In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try to be aggressive on their first series.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The numbers for Jeffrey from last week. He was the focal point. Big game up over 200 yards and a score.
And one thing I do know, when you put up numbers like that, the next team you're going to play, unless they're extremely arrogant, all they're thinking is, what can we throw at him that's going to be different and is going to knock him off his game?
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and is popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field.
It's caught inside the 25. And this will get them all the way inside the Giants' 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again. Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rush will just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They fake the give. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
All right, here we go.
Well, led on 1st down. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's Lawletta. He'll complete this to Ingram, his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Defensively, it was Avonte Maddox with a tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Lawletta. And incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. The shotgun snap to Lawletta. And he's got his man Hilton. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
Now it's Lawletta. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing on third down, Lauletta. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
We'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
Can't have enough good pass-catching tight ends in the NFL. And the Eagles, they wanted to replenish their stock. They lost Trey Burton in the offseason, so they selected Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State in the second round. And he is nothing but a big-time pass catcher.
What a great story, because South Dakota State didn't offer him a scholarship out of high school. He walked on there.
Yeah, so now Zach Ertz has a running mate at tight end. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Wentz to throw on second down. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Elliott good with a PAT. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Back to throw, Lauletta. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now here's Lauletta. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
On first down, it's Lauletta. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
And his throw here is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On play action, Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On 2nd and goal, Ajayi, the lone man in the backfield. Now, Wentz again. Flushed out right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Now a play fake. Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's Ajayi. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
And this is, oh, my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And a big 32-yard play on third.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On second down, here's Wentz. His throw caught right around the 6. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the play. Now Wentz. Buying time to his left. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All I know, partner, is that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control. And yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it.
Set! Green, 39!
Coming off play action, Lauletta. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Giants on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hurry up, here we go!
A handoff to Barkley. Oh, now he bowls him over. And it was the stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. For 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. On second down, here's Barkley. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough day for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard. And it's 4th. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Wentz, eluding the pressure right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. His throw incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Barkley. Gets past one man. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Again, it's Barkley. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it. Off the corner? Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency.
They've got his man complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Golden Tate, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st and 10, Lawletta. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4.
Here we go. 3-19.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Lawletta. And that will be incomplete as well.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz and the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They run with Ajayi. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
New York set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Lawletta looking to throw on 2nd down, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham, and he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Oh, that's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Lawletta fresh off the pick 6. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Caught left side by Hilton. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. T.Y. Hilton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have got it back to a 1-score game. Great corner out there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. But where have we seen this before? This might be shades of Super Bowl 52, Charles. Eagles up by a score in the 4th quarter, needing to run some clock.
Yeah, and they don't need to take that much off here. And think about it this way. Different quarterback under center than the one you're thinking about.
Yeah, Nick Foles under center, Super Bowl 52. Here Carson Wentz. But in Super Bowl 52, they took over 7 minutes off the clock.
They certainly did, and they really ground it down and stuck it in the end zone.
Again with a jive. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. His huge night, it just continues as he's now north of 200 yards receiving. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
No.
Now it's a jive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's a jive. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. This is a jive. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes Kyle Lauletta and company back onto the field. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization. Because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talent. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations. Now it's time for them to be clinical and not emotional. You know your play sequence. You know what has to get done. Get the ball to the right people, get out of bounds, and get it downfield and try and score.
He's trying to earn his stripes here for a winning drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early, and then you kind of relax a little bit, to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. He's back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shepard. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Evan Ingram in the final minute. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the fourth. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for two and decide it right now.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
I don't have to be careful how they handle this.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Jeffrey with a catch left side. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. The Eagles on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Wentz to throw. And he connects with Ertz. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Back to throw, Wentz. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's second down. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had, because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
Now Wentz drops it off to Ajayi. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. This from long, very long range. Does he have the distance? He does. It's good. My goodness, he hits it from the parking lot as time expires. And the Eagles are going to win the football game. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
Hey, I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch they at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanna me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen, now it's by the stove. Big inside this case is once. Do me dirty, I'ma find you, lay your out on the flow. 19 with a I got rich by myself. Rather do this alone, I wasn't asking for no help. They keep asking how I'm winning with the card that I was dealt. Boy, I work hard for the seat and I ain't buckling my belt. Call my brother on the phone, he said, broski, you a star. I said, brother, hold it down, soon we'll all be living large. And it's crazy how last year was on my garage. Now I'm in a good position for this life, can't sabotage. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me,